Alright, welcome back to Kearney's Infinity Bottle. So today we are going to be adding to our Infinity Bottle. As you remember, we started off with our initial was the Elijah Craig, then we went to the Four Roses, next was the Knob Creek, and finally the Maker's 46. This is going to be the sampling of that mix, and then we're also going to be adding the Bulleit 10-year. Doing things a little bit differently because I got a little bit of a banged up paw, so I didn't want to drop or spill anything, so I pre-pour these things to kind of cheat it a little bit. First, we're going to start off with testing the billet before we get into our Infinity Bottle, because we want to know what we're putting into our bottle, and then we're going to test our bottle. So we're going to start off with just doing it neat. Do about 1.5 ounces there. Give it a swirl. Alright, so right off the bat you can really get those sugary, spicy, sweet smells. You can definitely smell the caramel, you can definitely smell the vanilla, and you also get that nice pungent smell that comes from the rye. So you can already get that sensation in your nose. Yes, so alright, let's give it a taste. So right off the bat, the sweetness from the caramel and sweetness from the vanilla, very apparent, very easy to taste. You start to get that spice right down the sides of your tongue, on the bottom part of the tip of the tongue, and that comes from the rye. The Bulleit 10-year is a rye bourbon. I like ryes at times. I wanted to put the rye into here because it is just one of my favorite ones to go with. I'm going to try and steer away from the rye because what I'm looking for ultimately out of the Infinity Bottle is a smoother blended bourbon that you can sip without the sharpness of the rye. Sometimes you got to be in the right mood for that, but you could definitely smell that. So with the second sip, you start to get a little bit more of the oaky leatherness that comes from the 10-year cask. Starting to get a little bit more of a floral smell and a taste. Starting to get a little bit of a sweetness. I'm not quite sure what that is. Well, let's put it on the rocks and see if we can taste the difference here. A swirl, cool it down. Okay, I don't know if it's because I cooled it down or if it's just because as you get further into it, you start to get a little bit more of the complexity of the taste. Definitely got that sweetness, but now I'm starting to get a little bit of a sourness and almost a cherry flavor. I think it's starting to come through. Yeah, definitely cherries. You can definitely tell the cherries. You can definitely taste the caramel. You can definitely taste the vanilla. A little bit of toffee notes, and then the leather oak finish that comes along with it. Now, one of the things about the Bulleit finish, you will notice it's a very quick finishing bourbon. It doesn't linger around very long. Once it's kind of done its business, giving you your taste, giving you your sensations, it disappears quickly off the palate. So it's easy to sip while you're smoking a cigar, while you're smoking a pipe. It doesn't mix with the textures or the flavors of your cigar or pipe. All right, so now that we've done that, let's go ahead and taste our Infinity Bottle. So as we discussed earlier, it's got the Elijah, the Four Roses, the Knob Creek, and the Maker's 46. It's got a nice, kind of a mild smell. It's actually kind of, seems like it's mellowed out a little bit. I was hoping that the Maker's 46 would give a little bit of a sharpness back to it, because that's what I put that in there for. But you can still smell the sweetness, you can smell the caramel, you can smell the cinnamon, you can smell the vanilla. Let's give it a taste. Ooh, that's interesting. It does have a little bit more complexity to it. It does actually kind of change as it kind of hits all sides of your tongue. The first initial sip, definitely sweet, definitely got the cinnamon in there. You had that little bit of a bite in the back that you get from the makers, but you're also getting that tingle on the tongue that comes from the Four Roses. And it really is, it's got a little bit of a longer finish. The Elijah Craig has started to definitely take a back seat. Even though it's still the majority of the bottle, you are starting to taste the other bourbons in there. Oh yeah, definitely. You can taste the Knob Creek in there. I mean, that is just, it just pops in there. I might have to add some more to that soon because I really like what that brings to the bottle. All right, well, let's put it on some rocks and give it a taste. Whoa, a little rocky there. That's all right. It won't be in there long enough to melt the ice. So as it cools down, it really mellows it out. It really starts to smooth it down some. I almost like that better neat than on the rocks with this so far. Still get all the same sugars, still get all the same spices. Starting to get a little bit more of a almost a floral note. Almost smells like a little bit more flowery. All right. Well, let's get to adding the Bulleit. Uh-oh. I think I drank what I was supposed to pour into the infinity bottle. Oh well. We'll do it again. Hopefully my banged up paw won't let me spill too much. I got so excited about making another video that I actually forgot to pour the second thing of the Bulleit for the infinity bottle. So let's go ahead and add that in. Alright, put the top back on there, let that hang out for a little bit. So now I got the infinity bottle. Ooh. Yes, you can start to get the toffee notes in here. This is actually really starting to come together. I'm enjoying it. Well, thank you very much for hanging out with me again. I appreciate it. I will be back. Thank you.